Last week, I sat in the room and listened to 20 board game designers pitch their ideas, and some of them had genuinely great ideas. Games I really would like to play, and games has real potential. And a lot of them, by the end of the day, I still don't know how to play. Not because the designer are not passionate about explaining their games, but because nobody taught them how to pitch their ideas. I've been on both sides of the table, pitching our games to localizers and publishers. And at the same time, we also listen to a lot of pitch and see a lot of sell sheets. So here's what I actually need to hear when you sit down in front of me. Let's get started. First, leading with basics. Before anything else, unlike explaining your game to a player, explaining to publishers, you need to start with the boring basic stuff. Is it a co-op? Is it a competitive? Player count, player time, preferably honest player time, and 3 pieces of information, that's it, before anything else. I heard pitches last week. At the end of the explaining, my first question is, I'm sorry, is it co-op or is it competitive? If I have to ask that at the end of the pitch, that means you forgot a very important piece of information. Knowing that if a publisher cannot picture the table, they cannot picture a game being played on the table. Give them the skeleton first. Everything is flesh. Second, it is know your terminology. This one matters more than it sounds. So how it works in Göttingen Autoren, Spielautorentreffen, is that every publisher has a folder. So if you're interested in publishing your game in this publisher, then you put your sell sheet into the folder. So at the end of the day, we got 25 sell sheets. And we read through them, the basic information, and then go to the table where the designer is showing their games. So there are cases that I saw trick-taking games. I'm genuinely interested in trick-taking games. So we sat at the table and listened to their pitch. And then I realized it is not a trick-taking game. This one matters more than it sounds. If your sell sheet says this is a trick-taking game, and when I sit down and listen, I realize it isn't. It's not a small mistake, it is a red flag. So for publishers, it not just makes me doubt or uncertain about your game, I'm uncertain about whether you as designer, knowing the space you're designing in. Publishers think about positioning, what shelf your game's sitting on, what other competitors out there that you have to compete with, who buys it. If you're using the terms incorrectly, you make that conversation already hard to start with. This is the one most people get wrong. Thinking about from publisher point of view, we've listened to 19 pitches today, and there are 20 more waiting for us tomorrow. If you open with setup, you already lost the room. What is the most interesting thing about your game? And prepare that in one sentence. The thing that make your game stand out, the thing that make it different, surprising, and worth caring about. That goes first, not second, not after the whole context. Think about the last time when you stop and watch a TikTok video. Probably not because someone says, "Hi, my name is John, and today I'm going to introduce you my game." No. You probably have about 3 to 5 seconds to grab publishers' attention before their attention drifts away to a pile of sell sheets on the table. So practice that unique selling point until it's perfect. Next one, it is a little bit uncomfortable to hear, but it matters. If a publisher pushes back on something, either it's a mechanic or theme, doesn't matter so much for game designers, or a design decision, and you immediately agree with them, that is a problem. Not because you should be difficult, but because it signals that you're not sure your idea is strong enough to stand on its own. Publishers aren't just evaluating the game, they're evaluating you as a partner. They need to know that in the future, in the game development phase, when something goes wrong, and something always goes wrong, that you have a way to solve that. So, if you believe in a decision, explain it calmly and respectfully. For example, I hear that, here's my thinking behind, and that is a response of someone who's worth working with. Next point, it is probably the point that bothers me the most. Designers, describe your game with your own words. A lot of designers using existing games as a shortcut. For example, this is like Forest Shuffle but simpler. And I understand why. It feels efficient. You're giving the publisher a reference point. But here's the problem. When you lead with someone else's game, you're already playing on other people's territory. You're defining your game by what does it borrow from rather than what it actually is. Publisher want to hear you describe your own game, because if you can't explain what makes your game interesting in your own words, then maybe that means you haven't found it yet. That comparison might come up later in the conversation naturally, that is fine, but lead the conversation with your own words and own language. How does it feel like to play your game, and how do you imagine how does the player interaction moment look like? Describe these things, feelings that no exist game can stand in for. Bring a clean component list. Publishers are thinking about production costs from minute 1 when you start talking. How many cards, how many tokens, how big the box size would be, and how much would it cost from the shipping, especially from the world situation. Shipping is a big factor. If you walk into the conversation without a component list, you're asking publisher to do extra work before they can actually do the math in your brain, and that creates friction, meaning we can be distracted just thinking and counting, then listen to you, and that friction kills the momentum. It doesn't have to be polished, it just have to be exist. The card count, token count, board dimensions, box size, 1 page, probably not even 1 page, couple of texts. It shows you thought beyond the design and into the reality of actually making the thing. Unless a friendly cheer-up note, usually when publisher out there scouting a game, they most likely already have a game in mind, what kind of game they're looking for. Either it is a small card game that take about 30 minutes to play, cost about so and so to produce. So they have a clear vision what the game has to be. So when they show they're not interested in your game, not necessarily because your game is bad. Maybe it's simply because it doesn't fit their portfolio at that time. So, if you're a game designer, tell us what it was your first pitch experience. Was it a disaster? Was everything went fine? And what you wish you would know back then? Leave it in the comments. I'm interested to know. You can see I have a lot of passion for this video because I really wish all good designs can be on the market someday. So I hope this video is helpful for all of you designers out there. And we're always making game design and game psychology videos like this in our YouTube channel. So if you're interested, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!